Alright, you guys, welcome to the show. So my guest today is coming out of New Jersey. He's the producer and co-host of Uncle Joey's Joint with none other than Joey CoCo Diaz. He started off working at a law firm, making images for Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz, and earning some attention from them. They started to repost his images and cut forward Joey Diaz and him connect. And here he is today producing Joey CoCo Diaz's new show, Uncle Joey's Joint. Enjoy the show, you guys. Here's Michael Klein. How crazy is that, man, that you're working with Joey Diaz and that you were a fan watching the church, and here you are now, like, face to face with him, hearing his comedy. For the most part, bro, so that everybody really sees this, like, you're probably one of the only people who are able to see his comedy live on a weekly basis right now.
Yeah, that's so weird to think about, too. Yeah,
you know, and I didn't even. Yeah,
I'm his like only audience that he has, you know, because I'm the only one in the room. Like, we go downstairs, he gets his wife and his daughter to like make sure they're either going out doing something or like, you know, because even though he's a savage, he likes to be able to like be himself without them in the room or around the house. So
absolutely,
it's like right here, and it's so crazy. It really is crazy. Sometimes I'm sitting there with the headphones on, recording, and I just had to pick up my phone and just like, bam, take a picture of what I'm seeing, just so I remember it, you know?
Absolutely.
Nuts.
Dude,
it's amazing, dude. He's truly a fucking genuine person, too. Like, if I could have picked so many other people to, you know, fall in love with their style and their fucking just their way, but he was just like a fucking gem, you know. And I met a whole bunch of people through him and just through doing all this stuff, and there are some motherfuckers out there that I've come in contact with, and he's on another level. So I just praise him every time I fucking see that guy, you know. I just try to absorb and just remember shit, you know.
Born and raised in New Jersey?
Yes, sir.
Nice, man, nice. So you were always there, and then let's talk a little bit. Let's just, you know, what kind of kid were you, man? Were you a computer guy? Were you into cameras? What were you like growing up?
Yeah, my dad was always into computers and like refurbishing them and building them and shit like that. So they were always around when I was little. So I guess I kind of just fell into the whole technology thing. I've always been into art. My grandmother was a musician. My other grandmother was like a painter and artist. So I didn't really like get to know them too well because they passed when I was, well, one passed when I was younger and one had dementia later on in life. But I always took that from them and just went with the music and the art, and just that's always been my main focus in life, besides making money to live and, you know, eat and have a place to live.
You specialize in video audio production out there in New Jersey?
Well, I mean, now I do. It's weird, man. I went from I was working in a law firm doing real estate foreclosures in New Jersey, like for the past 20 years.
Oh, shit.
And I've always been into music and art and stuff, and about 7-8 years ago I started making these stupid little pictures for Rogan and Joey, and they started sharing them on social media and shit, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. So I kept doing it, and then that's how I met Joey, through fucking Twitter, Rogan through Instagram, and now it's just been like, it just
Wow, man.
fucking exploded from there, dude. It's crazy. I made all those
that's-
early photoshops that I used to do for both of them were like in between breaks at my day job, or like at home while I was like fucking patting the baby to sleep with one arm. You know?
Wow. So you were putting in, and that was like you were just putting in that work. Imagine that at a law firm, all those hours. I could just imagine, and then you were putting in that time.
Yeah, it was on top of that. Plus, I was trying to do some music. I helped one of my best friends run an open mic around here, like a music. We had comedy once in a while, but it was mainly music. But it was just a lot of work, and it's still to this day. Like, I'm still fucking up until 2 or 3 in the morning doing shit, like racking my brain. Like, what can I do next? What do I need to fix on something that I am doing now? You know.
Right.
Just, this is the shit that I wanted to be doing, and it's starting to like show because I'm really into it more than anything.
I feel that, and the perfectionist thing, you're just like, we're doing it and we're perfecting it in motion as it's taking place. We're just constantly, it's a constant thing. Even me with my show, you know, it's like a constant little thing I'm trying to pick up, you know, like I had a guy on yesterday and I'm like, you know, how crazy can these things get? You know, you connect with the guy, you see what's up, and you move forward from there. Oh my God, man, the guy answers and he's like, you know, how many views are you getting per downloads? And then he's like, well, you know what, we got to make this go viral. He calls over like a swimsuit model in the kitchen, and which I'm trying to ask him about the brand, and it just was wicked insane how that whole thing was just like, you're just watching it through Zoom, and I'm just like, holy smokes, you know what I mean? And it just we didn't even film it.
You were like sorry about that.
You know, like sometimes you shoot a show and you're like, you can't put it out. I don't know if you guys have had that situation, but sometimes you're just like, you know what, we can't fucking use this.
With the way that we do it, it's like Joey does fucking everything that he needs to do. You know, like he fucking goes in there. We usually just record the body. I call it the body of the podcast, where he just, you know, if it's a solo one and he's just talking with me in the background, fucking giggling, it's just him. So I'll just record that, and then we do the ads on the front and the back. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, it looks sweet, man. It looks sweet because I'll tell you right now, I watched the show when it was just him and Lee naturally, because I was watching podcasts. I was just like, this is going to get big. And then that one naturally just rose up there. And then you saw that, and then the quarantine happened. And then you even see how with podcasts, you can't really imagine how a certain flavor can be played for so long. You know, you get to favorite slice of pizza every day. Eventually, you're like, you know what, we need to mix it up a little bit. We'll throw a little ricotta, maybe change this, you know, something. And so, and then I saw that change, and I had just have seen, even with the intro, with the shoes, and with that whole thing has played together really nicely. Whether that's all you or not, I mean, that's cool, man. I like that.
Well, the latest intro with the guys walking and all that shit put together, that was this dude Ben Telford that he found us on Instagram, and just he made that and sent it to us and was like, yo, if you want to use it, go ahead. Because I had already had an intro. Like, if you look in the beginning, like, I don't know, 10 episodes or something, I wanted to make an intro for it because the church didn't have one, and I knew Joey was having David Schuler write a song. Actually, he wrote 2 different songs for it. And
they used to have like songs on the show. They used to play like AC/DC and Sabbath, and I bet that was a monetization issue.
Yeah, it was, because I remember when because I'd also do the clips for the church, like on YouTube. So when
the short clips.
Yeah, the short clips on the Joey Diaz clips page. And when I first started doing that, and I had to download all, because I didn't have copies of the episodes, so I had access to their YouTube page, and I went in and downloaded all of them onto a hard drive just so I had them all. Wow. But they were all like 720p.
Talk about a fucking asset worth millions right there.
Yeah, right. I got it saved on 2 different ones too, just in case fucking something happens. But dude, they were all 720p in the beginnings of them, because they were live streamed onto YouTube, and they had music in the beginning of them. You can hear like the music. They try to cut the music out, like even on the download back to your hard drive. Like, even though it should be the same file that was uploaded, they're sending me a different one because it's like the audio is real weird for a while. Even after they stop the music and start talking, it sounds like they're underwater for like a minute. So like any of the clips you see, I can't use the beginning of any of the episodes because it sounds like crap.
I see what you're saying now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it'll just be like boom, and you're like above water, and it sounds clear as day. It's like, what the hell happened? But they're just trying to cut out that copyrighted music, you know.
I was just thinking that for even my show with the intros. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, with the intros, you got to be careful with the songs because if you ever change that and then you want to go back to old stuff, it's gonna be that stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. That's why. Well, now I still do it, but I have like that intro song going under Joey just for like 10 seconds, you know. But it's his song. It's like our song, so we can't get copyrighted for it. So it's never gonna sound bad. It's just gonna always be there, but.
It's good. It's good. Man. It's good. Very nice, man. So you had that in you. You got the creative, artistic gene in you. You grew up. You went to high school out there in New Jersey, and then what'd you go to college for? You go to college?
Nah, no college. I started doing like online for graphic design, like back in like 08, 09, but I ended up just dropping that because I wasn't really learning much, and I felt like I could just start doing it and start making things instead of just sitting here in a class. They had like prerequisites on online classes that you can't even take to a real college afterwards. So this is too much work, bro.
Yeah,
gotta go, man. I didn't even learn anything about graphic design yet. I'm gonna try and learn how to do Photoshop in 2009, and I'm like.
You're better off producing some bad stuff and selling it and getting better as you go. You're better off just working at it.
Yeah, just producing it and just putting it in a fucking folder and not showing nobody.
You're not gonna learn anything from that. I mean, you might, but yeah, I hear you, man. All those prerequisites. I'm the same way, man. I love graphic design and the idea. You know, Norman Rockwell, those cool illustrations. But like you said, there's a lot of prerequisites, and there's just a lot of stuff behind that. There's other ways to get across there. You learn it yourself. You learn the craft. Very nice, man. And then, so how'd you end up in a law firm? How'd you end up in several law firms?
Straight out of high school, my girlfriend in high school, her family like ran one. So I got a job right out of high school doing that stuff and just moved my way up until I was like eventually doing sheriff sales and shit. Something I never really thought about, like, oh, I'm going to be doing this when I get older, but I was doing it for like most of my 20s and half my 30s. So
was that what you wanted to do, or it was just like, you know what, I got this sweet position, how can I let go of this?
Yeah, well, that was it. Basically, I got out of high school and felt like I was making pretty good money out of health insurance, like bam, right away. Why don't I try to just have this, and then I'll try to work on the music and everything in the background to, you know, and hopefully that'll eventually take over, but it never did.
Why did the music take off? You think it was just too many things taking place? Looking back, you know, because it's crazy, you know, you got to put a lot of time into that. Every night you work, you got to jump on that guitar. I mean, who knows how people... I heard Slash is never seen without his guitar. Yeah,
I know. Like, I don't have that kind of passion, I guess. I never really... Like, because I'm all right at guitar. I just never... To me, like, I never practiced like solos and shit like that, so I'm not really a great lead guitar player, but I never wanted to be Slash or like anything like that. Like, I'm more of like a David Gilmour kind of guy, you know, just feel that shit. Yeah. But absolutely.
I always think about that Pink Floyd, man, the greatest rock band on earth, and then all that stuff behind it, how crazy that whole story is. It's like, shit, man, shit. How is that? All the mechanics behind such a great operation.
Yeah,
you know, you hear the material separately, and then it's like you want it. You hear the material, and you're like, they're always better together. You know, you can't really hear Roger Waters or Gilmour the same.
Oh no, and that's the thing. Joey was just talking about how Roger Waters is just like fucking out there. He doesn't even like that dude as a person, but Pink Floyd as a whole. There's some badass motherfuckers right there, you know?
Crazy. Yeah, that's so funny. And I heard him say that, and I was like, that's hilarious. Only he could put it like that, you know, because fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Very nice. So you're working at law firms, and so you start creating designs, you know, you start making stuff, you know. What was that like? After a couple of years of being in the law firm, you started to play around with illustrations.
Yeah, I eventually got an iPhone when they came out. It was like 2011 or 2012, somewhere around there, where Instagram first came out. So I was like on Instagram back in the day, and I was just like fascinated with all these different effect apps that you could buy on an iPhone, like to make the pictures look weird and shit. So I was like, let me see what I could do. See if there's like a Photoshop kind of app. So there was like a iffy, like, I forget the hell it was called now, but after a while I actually found the Photoshop app for the iPhone, and they had like almost like 90% of the fucking tools you need right in the app, the one app. And then after eventually a couple of years, they like switched to the cloud, Creative Cloud thing, and like now each individual effect is in a different app, and you're like, what the fuck? But
Right.
so in the beginning, man, like, and up until like even now, like most of the Photoshop shit that I do is on my phone or on the iPad. It's like,
I mean, that's a fucking supercomputer right there, though.
yeah. It really is, man. Especially now, like, I don't use Photoshop because the app on the phone is kind of wonky. But there's this other app that I use called PhotoFox, and it just has the same shit. And that's what I use to make all the posters that I've done. So.
Wow, nice, man. Hey, it's all about how creative you are and what you do with what you got. I mean, you could give a guy the $10,000 setup with the best Photoshop, and we both know it might not come out that great because you need that creative.
Yeah, not to say that mine were great on the phone, but they were at least engaging enough to like make you laugh a little bit. I hope. Yeah.
That's awesome, now, man. I bet nobody even would know the difference. People really don't know the difference. And back to what we were saying with those iPhones, I mean, they're supercomputers in many ways, so you can do a lot with those phones. Sweet, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were just playing around with what you had, using your resources.
Yeah, and doing it on the spare time that I had in between everything else that I was trying to juggle. So it was nice.
And moving forward from there, so you make an illustration and you send it to Joe Rogan?
Well, I didn't send it to. I was just making, like, I would see that he would post something on Instagram that he was having a show somewhere. And I had looked, like, back in the day, like, he had, I think it might have been Red Band that was, like, making show posters for him, like, a long-ass time ago. But there were, like, some weird, like, early day Photoshop kind of looking shit, like, whacked out stuff. So I'm definitely not, like, the first one to do it. But I would just take whatever city he was going to and try to like come up with something funny that would include put his head on there, and then put all the information over top and just post it and tag him.
Right.
And then he started like retweeting them and reposting them on Instagram and shit.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, this is fucking weird, man. Like, I never had contact with anybody cool like that, like that could get your shit out there that quick and that actually like liked your stuff and like was like a real person, you know.
Crazy.
So I started doing that with Joey too after a while, because I was listening to Rogan. That's how I found Diaz. So eventually Joey started retweeting him a lot. He wasn't on Instagram at the time, so it was just on Twitter that I was sharing him on there, and he would retweet him and say shit about him and stuff. Like, this is fucking cool. So I just was doing that for a few months, just like, I'm just having fun. Like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with it, but I kept doing more and more and more. And then that November, I think that was like June or July of 2015. In November, Joey was coming out with that Savage Dad record album that he had, and he posted a picture of him and his daughter walking down the street with a gun in his back of his pants. I was like, that is fucking badass. So I downloaded, saved the picture to my phone, went into my app and fucking did a little editing to it, put the name Savage Dad and Joey Diaz in the bottom and shit.
You went to inner Picasso and you made a beautiful piece.
Yeah, and I posted it right to Twitter, and he messaged me right back saying, I love it, and can I use this and shit? So I used it for the album cover, like something I made on my fucking phone. It's fucking weird.
Damn, man.
And now he's got a t-shirt of it too. Like, he made one t-shirt, whatever. I see him wearing it once in a while. I'm like, wow, that's so weird. It's so cool.
Dude, that's like an inspirational story right there, man. You were just like a big fan, and then you were also an artist, and it all came into fruition naturally. You weren't even really looking for anything. You were just paying homage to the great material, and you put your artistic eye onto it, and it all just came together in this.
And that's what I posted that a lot or in the captions of a lot of things I posted was like, I don't want anything for this shit. I love these guys. They fucking give me laughs every fucking day while I'm sitting in this cubicle. And I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird connection these fucking podcasts have had over the last like 10 years, you know?
And so you were watching the show. You were watching the church, and you're moving forward. You watching the church.
I was into the church, man. I was fucking listening. Like at one point, Lee like uploaded all of them from like the beginning to YouTube and iTunes, I think. So I was just going, like, I was listening to the current ones as they came on Monday and Wednesday, and then every other day I was listening to the old ones all the way up to where we were, you know. I finished it. So I was like, fuck, man, I'm caught up now. I gotta wait every Monday and Wednesday until they come out with one. Like, fuck. But then I was like, fuck, man, this is such a cool thing, like, to be involved in, you know. And then I got hold of Lee, and all in between all this, I had started the 1x1 thing that's what I call my name on social media. It's because of that was my podcast name back in 2015 that I started because of fucking Joey and Lee, and I did like 60 some episodes of it, but I never.
Nice.
I think it was like after our first baby came, I kind of like drifted off, and we moved, and a whole bunch of shit happened. But
sure, but you still put in like 60 fucking episodes, which is
So I had Lee on one of those, and it was really cool back then to just talk to the producer of this fucking show that I was like, you know, in love with.
Dude, that's fucking me right now, to be honest with you. I'm talking to you, and you're doing that, man. So, the circle of life right there, brother. That's like you right there. That's awesome. And so, when they ended the show, they decided to end the show, you contacted Joey, and you were like, yo, man, I'm out here. If you want, I could put in some camera work. How did that happen?
Dude, he emailed me back in July when he found out that he was moving. And was like, hey, man, you want Lee's job? I'm coming out to Jersey, and let's do this. Because me and him had been talking throughout the whole pandemic, and like, you know, it was weird. Like when we first met each other on Twitter and like contacted each other, he gave me his number, and like he called me right away after I posted that Savage Dad thing. Like that fucking night he called, and I was just like starstruck all over the phone, you know. I'm like, fuck, man, this is so fucking weird, dude. So when he messaged me about him coming to Jersey, it was just like, I didn't realize that it was going to happen, but I felt like it might because of the way the pandemic was going, and like how, like he said, just they closed schools and all that shit. But yeah, man, as soon as he messaged me that, I was just like, oh, I went on fucking like okay, what are we going to use? How am I going to do this? Because I knew it wasn't going to be the same way that Lee did it, live, straight to YouTube. So I'd have to figure out, like, the camera, audio situation. And he had some of the stuff. Well, he had a whole bin of all the shit that they used for the church. That I was just like, you know, I'll try to figure this out. Because it was just like a bin of shit.
Oh, but, yeah, I bet, man. I mean, it's over the years you collect and you have this and that, but it's everywhere, you know? You got everything.
So we ended up just fucking, like, basically, because his computer that he had was so, like, old and shot that I couldn't even use that to run all the stuff that he had. So I just was like, you know what, let's get an iPhone, like the 12, and eventually, after, like, 30 episodes, I saved up enough, and I bought a Rodecaster Pro audio thing and just fucking put that together. And now I've had Adobe Premiere that I've been working with to put the shit together. A couple episodes ago, I used one of the church video cameras that he had, and it is a 1080 one, but I don't know why. Like going through, I have a Blackmagic little switcher. It looks so bad compared to the iPhone camera, because I had the iPhone camera on the side, and like the main one was the old church one. So when I was going back and forth, it looked like the side camera was like so much better quality.
So you tossed the old church one, the 1080. You said, you know what? Let's just use the new iPhone, and you got your Roadcaster audio, and you said, this is what we're gonna use.
Yeah, that's all we need. That's basically why I'm not on like in the episodes, like video wise, because we'd have to get another iPhone, turn it around, look at me, and then I'd have 2 videos to go back and forth with, and then when I come home, because the joint or the Zoom episodes of the joint, we record them through Zoom just like this, but then I take them home and I put them through Adobe, and I add the little overlay with the name and the podcast number on it, export that. Then I zoom in on one guest, put a little logo in the corner, export that. Then I zoom in on the other guest, put the logo in the other corner, export that. And then I bring it back into Adobe and make it the multi-camera thing. And then I sit there using the 1, 2, and 3 buttons, watching it live, switching cameras back and forth. And then I export that. And then I put it together in with all the front and the back and the intro and outro and all that afterwards. So it's like the joint, the fucking Zoom ones take a few hours to put together. I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
Why don't you put like an overlay and then scale them into smaller boxes and just kind of, you're exporting them separate? I get what you're saying. I guess I get what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, because I have to, well, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But to me, like, I feel like I need those separate videos, because when I go to switch the cameras, it's only that like shot, you know. If I did all that and like tried to make it like cut each frame or whatever, it would just take forever, I would think. I actually just saved up and got a new fucking computer too. One of those with the M1 chip, the Mac with the M1 chip.
Ooh, yep.
So the fucking rendering on that's like a lot smoother than it has been on this old 2015 MacBook Pro. But
and so moving forward from there, you guys have good momentum picked up. You have the intro, you got the commercials, advertisements, you have episodes coming out on a consistent basis. Now, what's the plan next? You guys are going to plan to get people inside? You know, you always got the people who are like, they complain about the Zoom, even though I don't see the issue with Zoom. It's the same thing at the end of the day. Sure, there's a little bit of a difference, but...
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have a fucking opinion on that, but...
Right.
True fans are just happy that they're getting fucking Joey to them. You know? Right. But yeah, I mean, I think right now, we're just waiting.
You don't have to say anything too soon if you don't want to say. I'm just...
No. He wants to move out of the... Because right now, we're just doing it right in his house. So he wants to get into a little studio area, which we're kind of waiting on a word from within the next like few weeks or so. So we're hoping
the next church.
Nah, I mean it's still going to be the joint. It's still going to be the joint and everything, but there might be something else coming besides the joint, and you know.
I like that. It's I like that, man. That's very exciting. That's exciting, man, and that's awesome for you, bro. Like, I'm so happy for you, being that you put a lot of work in this over the years. This wasn't just some, like, stumble upon thing, you know. This was all, you've been putting in time. You've known these dudes. You've been putting in work, just showing love for the fact that you appreciated the work they were putting out. And then here you are, man, co-producing the show on the joint. You guys are waiting on a word in a new studio. You're producing the episodes, and you're killing it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I think soon we're going to be moving it to Tuesday and Thursdays, because for the summertime anyway, because he's got a lot of shit going on with his daughter and softball. And, you know, I got 2 little guys too. So we're going to be putting them back into daycare. So we're going to be putting it out probably Tuesday and Thursdays sometime in June instead of Monday and Wednesday. But that's just so we can have the weekends off for the summer. I think after that, then we'll probably go back to doing it the regular way. Between the joint, the the church clips that I do, because I make sure that we get 2 of those loaded onto YouTube every weekday as well. So I have to like make sure I set a time aside for that.
You're for one filmmaker, editor, producing material. I mean, that all takes time. Anybody that knows that, you gotta go through the material. So you're just basically going through the whole show and then finding clips that are great to put out. 2 of them a day. We're out the door.
Yep. And like it's just and saving them all too. I'm also like just putting them all on another hard drive, just putting them away. And just, figuring out what the hell I want to do next as well, because there's also a little bit of time that I feel like I could be helping or doing something else, I still talk to Rogan once in a while too, so like once they start getting out and doing more tour dates, I'm sure I'll be making more posters for that. And once Joey starts getting into doing stand-up again, which I hope will be sooner rather than later, but
right.
We'll see.
Everybody wants to see it, right? What was I just saw the episode. What was it? Jim Florentine saying every show he does, they're asking about Joey. They think he's gonna just jump out.
Yeah, just jump out of the back like, what's up, cocksuckers? I don't think so. No, dude, it was crazy, man. I tried. I was gonna try it, but it was like right before the pandemic started. I had gone to Helium in Philly, like handful of times. I had to take the train over the bridge and I finally signed up. It was like the 2nd or 3rd time I signed up to go on stage, and they were like, they never called my name any of the times I went, and then fucking Friday the 13th happened and haven't been back. So it's like, it was so weird. Like I was about to try doing stand up myself, and I was like, had that experience, and now I'm doing this. So
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, March 13th last year, man. That's when everything fucking went in lockdown around here. Right. Shit, man, that's insane how much time has passed. And look at you now, though. A lot of people have, it's a huge momentum loss for comedians and artists worldwide. And, you hear a lot of people were doing Zoom shows, and that was brutal for a lot of people. And, it's insane to see. Kill Tony is awesome to see they're picking up on that, and they never have stopped. And that's great to see comedians going out, man. I want to see a lot of, you got to get up there, man, once they open up. It's got to be any day now, right? I mean, you guys probably have a lot of, Mike Marino says he's got a couple of things. He's going to Dubai, so, Oh, well, have fun, bro. Fuck that. I ain't going nowhere like that right now. But, no, I think that Murphy here in Jersey said that we're going to be opening up. I think he's announcing on Monday that we're going to be opening up the weekend before Memorial Day. Like next weekend, 2 weekends from now. Well, anyway, no masks indoors anyway, all that bullshit. So,
right.
But Joey got his vaccine. I just got both my shots. Like I had like a week or 2 ago, the last one. So we're ready. Like I told him, I'm ready to fucking go somewhere, have guests, and fucking put a real, in-person podcast together for once. I want to get the 2-camera thing going and be sitting there in the fucking room going back and forth, because that'll save a lot of time on editing and post.
How funny, right? That people don't realize just because it's done with like Zoom, and there's still a lot of stuff taking place here, man. There's not as easy as you think. It's not just
seriously. Plus all the social media stuff too. Like I do the clips for anything that I put on Twitter or Instagram for him. I started as the Instagram back in like 2015 after he asked me to be after the Savage Dad thing in November. December came. He was on Rogan for like Christmas or something, and he asked me. He was like, "Yeah, you're the graphic designer," because I kept making like, I would listen to the church, and then I'd make a Photoshop of something that they said, and then put the episode number and the church and all that on it. And he kept sharing those too. So I was like, he was like, "You're officially the graphic artist for the church. You okay with that?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's what's up." And that's when it just took off. Like that week, I started the Mad Flavors World Instagram. I was like, I know you're not on here, but I'm just gonna start it and start posting shit and just see where it goes. And then eventually it hit like 1 million followers. So now he's taking it over.
Right, he's like, oh shit, that's so funny, right? Like that you started that off, and that's crazy. That much people waiting to just somewhat say him. They wanted him to start one, and you were like, dude, you got to get on there. Trust me. And he's got like over 1 million followers. That's insane. Yep.
Yeah, it's craziness, man. I mean, he had a lot of help from like friends sharing shit. Like Rogan would share shit that I posted on that page too, and like he would tag them and stuff, and I would watch like, damn, look at all these fucking followers just because Rogan posted that picture of them two together, you know? But it's been a learning experience, this whole fucking thing, man. Just seeing how the things work from like inside and out, and being on the outside for most of the time in my life. And now I'm kind of like looking in the door like, oh, okay, I see how this goes.
Right, man, that's insane. Hey, well, there you go. You're running and gunning, and you're killing it, and you're taking care of business, man. And that's what everybody wants to be doing right now, man. So that's really awesome. Super stoked for you, Michael. That's wicked sweet, bro. You guys are moving, man. You know, when you guys get guests in there, I can't wait to see how you put in all that other stuff. You're able to let it out. I see that you're ready for that, and it's all just timing. It's any day now, really.
Hell yeah, man. I can't wait. Saying bring it the hell on.
Let's get you on again in the future, man, and let's talk some more.
Sounds good, brother.
Michael, sweet.